Have you ever asked yourself, like, what do? We work hard, we make money, then we pay all the bills, we save a little bit, and then everybody's mind is, let me invest money. Do you invest money? Okay, no particulars, just general answers. Don't worry, I won't ask you how much money you have invested. But why do you invest money? Now he listens to his wife. He waits for her to tell her the answer.
That means a lot of saving is already happening.
Already happening? Okay, I'm assuming you're husband-wife, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then secret to a good life, right? Listen to your wife, right? By the way, how many have heard happy wife, happy life? Yes, everybody has heard, right? Have you heard happy husband, suspicious wife? Right? If your husband is too happy, suddenly the wife starts thinking, what's wrong? And then to top it off, you tell them, I'm going for a meeting to Las Vegas, and you come back happier. Now the wife is really curious, like, what happened out here? So what is the solution to this? Take your wife with you to it, right? So there is no suspicion out there. But coming back, so number one thing is to understand how money works. Number two is to be certain in uncertain times. I had never heard this statement in my life. Understanding to be certain in uncertain time, because I didn't know what to expect in life. What's your name, sir?
Navjot.
Navjot. What do you do, Navjot?
I work in an IT.
I work in IT. Do you know what's going to happen in your life 5 years from now? No.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows, right? Do you know what's going to happen 10 years from now? No. Kiran, do you know what's going to happen 15 years from now?
No, it is uncertain.
It's very uncertain, right? See now how suddenly you start thinking, it's uncertain. We don't know what's going to happen. See, we all only think about the good things that's going to happen in life. One day I'll get married to the lady of my dreams. One day I'll have that big mansion. One day I'll drive that Bugatti or whatever car is of your choice. One day I'll take that vacation. But we very selectively, human nature, we don't want to think what can be uncertain in life. And that's when we all start facing problems. But I am so glad that when I came to this business, this system, I started understanding what are those uncertainties of life and also to have a solution to that. See, knowing a problem is one thing, but having a solution is better. Otherwise, what's the point of knowing what's happening, right? Then ignorance is bliss. So very, very important to understand that what is our life cycle, to say. And this is one of the most amazing graphs or curves I've learned after coming to the system is what's called the X curve. And the top curve, as it comes down, is, I'm actually going to use this. The top curve is the law of decreasing responsibility. Now, we'll talk about it. So when we are young, we have more responsibilities but less wealth. Would you agree, Kiran? When you are in 20s, early 20s, low 30s, we are accumulating wealth, but we have a lot of responsibilities. But as we age, we start accumulating the wealth. So we call the yellow curve as the law of increasing wealth. And through these two curves, we go through at least 3 or 4 very important phases of life. When we are young, we have a lot of responsibilities. Now, Kiran, if I was to ask you, at this stage in life, what do you think are your responsibilities of life? Give me your name again. Navjot, you can also think about it because I'll come to you after this. So you get 15 seconds to think about that.
You mean this life at this age?
Yeah, in general, in your life and with your family, everything. Navjot, what do you think are your responsibilities of life?
Housing expenses.
Okay. How?
Taking care of my wife.
Okay.
My baby.
And
My baby.
your baby.
You're blessed with a baby boy.
Oh, congratulations. That's awesome. That's wonderful. So, you have a family to take care of, you have a wife, you have a kid, you have a home. So you have a lot of responsibilities, right? Can you one day just wake up and tell your wife, today I'm not going to worry about you. Khana nahi milega. Right? What do I mean by that? Is responsibility something you cannot just shy away from. Can you tell your kids, oh, today I'm not going to be your father, you take care of yourself. I'll think about you tomorrow morning. We cannot do that because did our parents do that ever? Especially moms, do they ever say that, oh, today I'm not going to wake up, you go to school by yourself? A responsibility is something that you cannot give up, right? Would you agree? So similarly, all of us have various responsibilities. There is no right or wrong definition. Some people say roti kapda makan is my responsibility, right? There are various formulas to use that. We use a very simple formula called DIME. D stands for get, okay? I stands for income replacement. M is the balance on the mortgage that you have. And E is the education expense. Now, Navjot, the best thing that happened is you have a baby boy. The next best thing to do is start planning for the kid's education. And we will talk about it. Now, what kind of debts do we carry in life? You know, somebody has a credit card loan, somebody may have an auto loan, somebody may have a personal loan, somebody may even have a personal student loan. You know, guys like me who were in school forever, we carried a lot of loan forward and we have to pay it off. Now, do you agree that some people, most of us will have a car loan, very few people just go and pay 40, 50, 60,000 and buy a car, right? So do people carry auto loans?
Yes.
Do people have credit card loans or
Yes.
balances to pay? So the question is, you know, how do we take care of it, right? In this case, I'll come to the numbers. Number 2 is income replacement. Navjot, I'm sorry, I'm picking on you today because, you know, you got a baby boy. Navjot, by the way, that's not the problem, okay? So I stands for income replacement, which means what if you are not able to bring in the wealth that your family needs? Navjot, you know, God forbid this never happens, but let's say you go to work and you never come back. I hope it never happens to you, but imagine the scenario that a client goes to work but never comes back. Who's going to take care of the expenses at home, right? Don't you think one should think about it? The other scenario is, Navjot, you come home, but you cannot go back to work tomorrow. Can that happen too?
Yes.
Absolutely, that can happen also. So income replacement in simple words means how can your family run at least for the next 10 to 12 years without losing the comfort and the quality of life at the same life. What happens otherwise? People start thinking, oh, I need to downgrade, I need to sell off. And the typical Bollywood scene, you know, the wife is stitching clothes, right? I don't know why, you know, last 70 years.
They know how to stitch. That's not the option.
That's not an option either.
That's not an option either, right? Because made in China, $2 stuff is coming there. Nothing about the country, okay? Don't take me wrong. But what I'm saying is, are we even trained to stitch clothes if something happens like that? It sounds very funny, but imagine what if it happens to us, right? So we need to be ready in life to understand what is the replacement of income I would need for my family so that they don't lose where they are living. The third is the mortgage. Navjot, do you have a home? Beautiful home, so congratulations, you know, all the blessings be on you. Just for fun's sake, just throw me a random number. What's the balance on the mortgage you have?
Around 400K.
400,000. Does your spouse work? So if you are not able to pay the mortgage, what will happen to the home? First of all, do you own the home?
Yes.
Wrong answer. The bank owns the home, right? But if you don't pay your mortgage for 2 months, what happens? What will the bank do?
The bank will seize.
The bank will seize the home. Can you tell, Arey, abhi bacha paida hua hai, you know, he's so cute, look at him, just extend this for me. Will they do it? No, not really, which means you need to secure that mortgage, right? You need to protect your family from the possibility that if something happens, who's going to pay for it, right, Kiran? You cannot just leave it like that. And E is education. Education for your kids. You know, education maybe for yourself. There's a lot of people, even after marriage, they say, oh, I'm going for an MBA school. Right? You know, a lot of people. You ask Desis, especially if they don't know what to do, they go back to school. At one time, me and my kids were going to school simultaneously. So my wife said, ab 3 dabbe nahi banaungi, sirf 2. You have to stop going to school, right? It was a reality. There was a time when my kid was in Montessori and I was still in fellowship. I said, okay, no, this needs to stop, right? Because we need to start making some income. Now think about it, Navjot. You have a newborn kid today. And you have 18 years to go to, for the kid to go to college. which college would you like him to go?
I don't have any plan.
Don't know plans. But if you had all the time and money in your life, where would you like the child to go? So I'll give you a scenario out here. You know, this is a very simple calculator from Vanguard. So this is an open source document. I did not invent this. You can go and check this out on Vanguard. So we'll have a little fun, okay? It's going to scare you, but I'm going to have a little fun. Now imagine your child's current age is 1 year old, will go to college when they're 18 years old, and they will go to a 4-year college. Now let's select the best college in the world, okay? Let's take, give me a name.
Harvard.
Harvard. What state is that in? Massachusetts, right? So let's choose Massachusetts, and let's pick the college. What is the college called? Is it just called Harvard, or is it something else?
Clearly, none of us went there.
It's like that.
Harvard University.
So Harvard University, okay.
Massachusetts.
And Navjot, since the kid is just born, we have not started anything to plan for it. Correct? So $0 right now. Let's say you invest, that money gets invested, and you get 6% rate of return, consistent. At that rate, if you plan to fund 100% of the education, you will need $818,000 as of today, plus minus 5%. These numbers are very accurate. You know, they are within 95%, you know, what they call standard deviation. So now, Navjot, I want you to take out your calculator, divide $818,000 by 18 years.
80,000.
Everybody can do this exercise. If you have small kids, do this exercise. You online guys, do your own calculation. And $45,000 per year. Now divide that by 12 months.
3,700.
How much?
About 4,000.
About $4,000 a month is what you would need to save from today for the next 18 years so that your kid can go to Harvard. Now that $4,000 is after tax, which means you need to make at least $5,000 a month consistently for the next 18 years. So your kid is only going to college. Abhi aage ki to kuch baat hui nahi. This is just fees and tuition, right? Now, Joe, tell me something. If you go to work and never come back, or if you come back and you cannot go to work, will your kid have a good chance of going to Harvard? So don't you think we need to make a provision that if something like that happens, my kid can still go to Harvard? And that is what we are going to talk about. Make sense? Any questions here, guys? This is open source. You can go and do your own calculation.
I have a question.
Yes.
Not related to this, Dr. Bore.
Yes.
But sometimes people, you know, when you talk about the colleges, be it state or out of state, they say they'll take loan. As a parent, they say, it is America, they'll pay loan and they'll figure out their stuff later. I'm not going to think and save too much for their college.
Yeah.
How do you address that?
And they also do say that my kids are so smart enough that they will get scholarships. So how would you address this?
First of all, I'll tell them, I'm so happy for you that you have so much confidence in your kid that 18 years from now, you know what's going to happen. And if you get scholarship, hey, all this is bonus. You don't have to spend the money, right? If they get scholarship, I'm happy for you. Now,
Parents can retire early.
exactly. Now, you don't have the responsibility of $800,000, so that money goes into your retirement account. Make sense?
Right.
And he said a very important point. $800,000 over 18 years will compound very nicely.
Yes.
Correct? So explain this to the people. The next thing is, oh, my kid can take a loan. But don't you think he has to pay off the loan later on? Muft mein to nahi milne wala. Which means you are just pushing the responsibility from one generation to other. Now you should tell him, you should secure your child's future by getting a term policy for your child. What if he cannot pay the loan? Who's going to pay for it, right? So once you borrow money, you can never get out of that responsibility. Whether it is out of pocket or you're borrowed, you have to do it. Now, why is all this important? Because these 4 things are absolutely essential. Can I go to the bank and say, I'm not going to pay the car loan? Can you go to the bank and say, I'm never not going to pay the mortgage? They said, fair enough.
You can say it.
You can say
You can say, but yeah, exactly. You know? So these are absolutely non-negotiable expenses of life. You cannot get out of debt, you cannot get out of a mortgage, you cannot tell your kid don't go to school. Especially desis, man, हम तो मार के बच्चों को school भेजते हैं. You know, my kid came home and says, oh, you know what? Jeff Bezos dropped out of school. You know, and then Bill Gates dropped out of school. See how big they are. मैं बोला पहले big हो जा, बाद में drop की बात कर. Do you have kids? If they came and told you I'm dropping out of school, what will you do? Yeah? I just heard recently that चप्पल को गीला करके मारो तो और भी लगती है. क्यों लगती है पता नहीं, मैंने नहीं खाई, but I know where you were going. But the point is, you know, as much as we believe in all these stories, that, you know, one day I just gave up everything and next day I'm a trillionaire, yeah, fine. I mean, I give it. But at least we need to see the signs before we do that. Now, this is a general example, and there is a reason I'm spending time on this. Now, in this example, let's say this family of 4 has a debt of $50,000. The guy makes $150,000 a year, standard industry average. I don't know who this person is, maybe less, maybe more. Income replacement, if you have your family needs to live for 10 to 12 years, you need 10 times the income to be replaced. So that's 1.5 million. Mortgage, I've taken 500,000, Navjot, 100,000 bach jayenge. But by the time you pay it off, it will be more than 500,000. And education, 400,000, I'm only taking half of sending your kid to Harvard. Pehle 2 saal ka kharcha niklega. Okay? Now that comes to $2.45 million, which is basically, Navjot, your responsibility towards your family. Will I need all this money? I don't know, hopefully not. But let's think about it, where is that money going to come from? So this is my responsibility. If I'm alive, I have to take care of it, right, on the left-hand side. I'm going to use some markers. So if I'm alive, I'm going to take care of it, correct? I have to get up every morning, go to work, maybe even do on-calls, weekends, nights, emergency room visits to make the money. Some people do a second job, some people, you know, sell kachori, some do Kumon, some do HCI, some do Amway, whatever it takes. The answer is whatever it takes to your family. I know stories of a lot of people who have done some crazy things just to support their families. The question is, do you want to be in those crazy moments? Why not plan for it ahead of time, right? So if you're alive, you are going to work for it. What if you're not alive? Then who's going to take care of the responsibility of your family? So that is where you transfer the responsibility of the care of the families to somebody else. Now, yes, a lot of people, you know, tell me, oh, my spouse can go and work. It's easier said than done. It is not so easy when there is a loss of a family member that the spouse immediately gets up next morning and starts going to work. It doesn't happen. You know, there is emotional trauma, there is financial trauma, there is responsibilities. And as much as, you know, we respect all the ladies going out and working in addition to managing their homes, man, hats off to you ladies. Ask a guy to run a home and do the job for 7 days, man, they'll be on their knees. Ek baar Rahim bhai, Shraddha went on a 4-day trip with the ladies. I could not wait for her to come back. अरे 2 बच्चे हैं, सुबह उठते हैं, एक को एक सीरियल खाना है, दूसरे को दूसरा खाना है. मैं बोला, both are same man, just have it, right? I said, like, Shraddha, I don't know how you do it. She said, अब मेरी value समझ आई तुझे. But anyway, so if you're not alive, you transfer the responsibility. Can spouse do it? Yes, but maybe not. Some people are rude enough to say, my wife can marry somebody else. You will यार बदतमीज है, उड़ गया तो ऐसा बोलेगा. Third thing, right? People do say that. I've had a client who once told me, Rahim bhai, मैं मर गया तो मेरा क्या relation है? I said, like, are you really talking?
I was also told by one of my parents. He said, when I'm gone, I do not care how they handle. They'll go back, figure this stuff. So I'm not going to plan. I said, okay.
Hey. Not too many of them, thank God. The third thing is, oh, my family can go to India.
Yes,
Yes,
that's very
that's
common.
Very common.
Very common.
Do you think going to India is really easy?
No.
Is living in India really easy? अब रुपए का भाव देखो आजकल.
Same problem, different location.
Exactly. Exactly, same problem, different location with less support. You think there are a lot of family members, कोई
And
कुछ
you're
नहीं
not
करेगा.
even aware of the challenges you will have.
Exactly. एक मच्छर काटेगा ना, भाग के आ जाएगा. Right? The fourth one is GoFundMe. You know, GoFundMe has become a social norm nowadays. And it's good, no question about that, no doubt about it. People help each other. But is it a very dignified way of saying, I need help, my husband is gone, my wife is gone? Is it really a dignified way of asking for help? No. Second thing, anybody knows what's the average collection of a GoFundMe contribution? Not even 100K.
It's 20,000.
Do you know how much GoFundMe charges out of that collection? 17%. So if you collected 100, 17 तो गए, बचे हुए 83 में आप टैक्स भरोगे, उसके बचे 60,000. Our need is 2.45 million and you got 60,000. Can your family live life like that? Not really. So it's very, very important that we transfer this responsibility to an insurance company who will guarantee an entire payment to you and your family tax-free. So if something happens, you are taken care of. Make sense?
Yes.
The third scenario is you come home but you cannot go back to work, right? Either you have some medical problem, you have a physical problem, or maybe there is a terminal problem. Now there is no income, but there are ongoing expenses. In fact, there are more expenses
More expensive.
than when you were healthy. Who will pay for this? What's your name, sir? Nikhil. I hope this never happens to you. But do you know somebody who has gone through a similar situation? So many people. Would you agree with me that they do come into financial issues? Absolutely, right?
Of course, yes.
Now, would it be nice, Nikhil, if you could plan for this to be certain in that uncertain event that if something like this happens, my bills are still getting paid?
It's great.
It's great, right? Have you taken care of this for you?
Yes, I did for myself.
Excellent. I'm very proud of you. Now, when you share this with people, you know, human nature, and these days everybody is very, very intelligent because they got ChatGPT, right? They got AI and they start coming up with answers. So the first answer they'll give you, I got insurance from my company,
Yes.
correct? So if you have a job, you're lucky, you have insurance from the company. But are you the owner of that insurance?
No.
You are not.
Just
The
a
company is the
certificate
owner.
you get, yeah.
Now, do you have group insurance from your company? Have you ever seen the certificate of insurance for your group policy?
We need to request with HR in case you miss.
Will you ever get a ownership certificate of insurance? Because you're not the owner. So that's number one. Number two, is that permanent?
No.
अबे job ही permanent नहीं है तो insurance permanent कैसे
Yes,
होगा?
exactly.
Right? So if you're in between jobs, good risk of losing it. But hey, if you are an HGI associate, now we have the option of having our personal insurance. Right? Number three, anything that from the company is an annually renewable term insurance, which means the rates will constantly keep going up, right? Now you may not feel that you are paying for it, but where do you think the company is paying from? From your pay package. Owner थोड़ी ना जेब में से निकाल के वो नवजोत आज 1 साल बड़ा हो गया, let me pay for him. No, they will deduct from your paycheck and pay for it. So that is one thing. Number two, people say, oh, I have insurance in India. How many people have heard that, oh, I got LIC? Right, Nikhil?
Yes.
Now, first of all, remember, insurance in India, will it apply here? Is it easy to encash that and bring it here? No. The worst thing now is look at the rate at which the rupee is going down. I did this calculation this morning at 8:30. The rupee is 95 rupees 70 paisa for every $1. So Navjot, if you have 1 crore insurance in India, you're only covered for $104,000. And what is our need? $2.45 million. 104 में क्या होगा? Diapers आएंगे. I'm being dramatic, but a lot of people are saying that, oh, I got 2 crores, 3 crores, 5 crores. At 2.45 million, how many crores insurance will you need in India? 25 crore rupee policy. That's when you can live in the United States with that. Make sense? Now, when you show this to the client, they suddenly realize, okay, I'm not adequately covered. Now, even if the family goes back to India, are they adequately covered with 1 crore?
No.
Nothing, right? Now, why is this important? Because people will always object. They don't mind spending on a blue label, they don't mind spending on a big vacation cruise, but they always argue and they will kind of get into a debate with you. And pardon me for using the words, but people get into that zone. Why do I need this?
By doing
Correct? Why do I need so much? Nothing is going to happen to me. Amrut pi ke paida hu. Right? Everybody thinks they are immoral. The second thing is understanding the situation where you come home but you cannot go to work, which means you are disabled in one form or the other. You know, we discussed the 3 situations is where you could either have a medical problem, you could have a physical problem, or there could even be a terminal problem where you cannot go back to work. Now this becomes even more interesting because people really argue, what's going to happen to me?
Yeah.
Right? Nothing happened to my father, nothing happened to my in-laws, nothing happened to my friends. So what's going to happen to me? Right? And I wish and pray nothing ever happens to you. I always tell everybody, you know what? I'm so happy for you, and I wish and pray that nothing ever happens to you. What if? Right? Navjot, what if that happened to you? So we cannot just do an argument when you give them some data. Now it opens the eyes. First thing, according to CMS or Medicare, every 10 minutes there is one new person, Rainbhai, and you've been in the industry, so you know this. There is somebody who gets either a medical problem, a physical problem, or a terminal problem. By the time our meeting is over, 12 people in this country will have been disabled. And thank God it is not us. Just in these 2 hours, 12 people somewhere are going to be disabled. Thank God it is not us, but what if it was us? Number 2, CDC data says that 1 out of 3 working Americans are sick or disabled at any given time. Nikhil, do you know how many people work in US? 180 million people out of the 350. 180 million is the workforce. What is 1/3 of that, Nikhil?
Around 63,
60.
360, yeah.
60.
60? Yeah. So 60 million people are exposed to some sickness or disability. Do you think we have a solution to offer to these 60 million people? Big time, right? So we should not hesitate in sharing this with them. 61% of personal bankruptcies, and this is data on the ChatGPT, Google, wherever you go. All our providers will also give you this data that 61% of personal bankruptcies happen because of the medical bills that people cannot pay. Don't blame the doctor or the hospital. That's the plan you have chosen. But out of pocket and out of your limits, 61% people face bankruptcy because of this. But if you could save that, you could prevent that, Navjot, to be certain कि भाई ऐसा कुछ हुआ तो I'm safe. We have, unfortunately, incidents happen to some of our colleagues in this organization, but we also know how they got covered because of the coverage, right? Now, a lot of people will again argue, oh, I have a short-term and long-term friend, my workplace.
Yes.
Nick, right?
Say that.
You are going to say that? Very good, wonderful. I'm very glad. Nikhil, do you have short-term disability at work?
Yes, I do.
Okay. First of all, do you know how much is the disability coverage?
Uh,
I'm not picking on you, just to make it
yeah,
interactive.
that's okay, that's okay. Maybe half the paycheck.
Are you sure?
I think it's 670.
See, it begins with this. We don't even know what coverage we have. So it's usually 6,000 or less. It's usually 60% up to a salary paycheck of $10,000. If you make more, you still get only 6,000. Do you know, Nikhil, how short is the short term?
Maybe 6 months.
Do you get the entire 6 months?
Depends on diagnosis.
Okay. But do you get an entire 6 months coverage?
Maybe.
We don't know. The first 90 days are always grace period,
Yes.
right? So you will only get 3 months of coverage. What after 3 months? Let's say there is a bad situation. You don't recover in 14 months. Who'll pay from 7th month onwards? I'm not picking on anybody. I'm encouraging everybody to go back home, look at your agreement contracts, see what is the coverage, and make sure you're adequately covered. Now, Navjot, do you have long-term disability at work?
Yes.
How much did you choose?
I don't recall the number. I think they give monthly payments. That's how it's structured, but I don't remember the coverage.
No problem. How
I
much?
think it's again, it's the formula is 60% of your salary, but that is also taxable.
Correct.
That's also taxable. Whatever you get is also taxable, and 90 days of, I mean, they want to push it so that you get it. with the
Correct.
last-
So how long is long-term?
I think till the time you retire, or you are, yes, I think
Is
up
it
to the
65?
65 and the lifetime also is there. But with the
Are
job,
you
it's
sure?
60.
2
I
years
think
to
it's till the
65?
time.
Yes.
Till the time, I think.
Good copy. So it's either 2 years or age 65, whichever comes first in general. Now, if your company gives a better coverage, hey, God bless you, right? So it's 2 years or age 65, whichever comes first. What if you are 66 years old?
It's gone. It's gone.
ना एक तो काम नहीं है, coverage भी नहीं है, खर्चे भी हैं. So who will cover you for that, right? I'm not trying to pick on anybody. And the same thing for everybody online. I'm not trying to pick or find faults with anybody. I'm just encouraging you to go back and look what you have. Because a lot of people depend on this to only find out it is not covered. Now, Nikhil, is the disability universal or disability only on the premises or for office work?
Universe, anybody gets.
Huh? Is it? Let's say you're on a vacation to Switzerland. You got a rental car, and not you. Let's say the client, and he goes down the slope. बच गया, लेकिन हाथ पैर टूट. Do you think he'll be covered?
I don't think so.
Rahim Bhai has been in that industry. Rahim Bhai, are people covered if they are not on the job-related things? See, Rahim Bhai is saying no, and he has been in that industry for almost 2 decades. So you are not covered by disability at work for job unrelated events. So you want to have universal coverage. Now, does anybody here have a standalone disability policy, which means it's only disability policy, nothing else? No, nobody discusses that, nobody promotes that. Also, many people cannot afford it. Because just to get the $6,000 a month of coverage, some professions have to pay almost close to $2,500, $3,000 premium. So people don't get it. You are in the healthcare industry, right? Related. Kumar, okay. You need to educate the kids right from day one. So it's very, very important that you understand the need for it. And why am I discussing all this? Because if you're alive, you can take care of your family. But if you're not, you need to. And if you're alive but you cannot work, you need to take care of the family. Any questions here? Now, the next argument people will have is, hey, I can invest money and make enough money that if something like this happens, I'm okay. Again, Nikhil, I'm happy for you. I hope you have enough money to invest, and I hope the investments grow to make it. So this is a very, very important slide, and I did not come up with this. You put this on ChatGPT, there are various versions of this which will come up, is what is my number? The first time I saw this was from Akiva. What is your number? Now what this states is that if you want to make $1 million, you invested your money and you are getting 8% rate of return and the market never goes down. 3 variables. You're getting 8% rate of return forever, which is shaky. Market never goes down, shaky. And you have consistent investment. Remember, child going to Harvard, $3,700. So what this states is that if you have 40 years to retire, then you need to invest $286 every month for the next 40 years. So start young. Start very, very young. If you have only 30 years to retire, okay, by the way, anyone here who has 40 years to retire, assuming we retire at 65, so what number gaya aapka? Yeah, we lost that chance. Anybody here has got 30 years to retire? Ladies, I won't ask your age, but somebody's nodding the head. So if you have 30 years to retire, you need to save $670 a month for the next 30 years. And assuming the market will do good, you will have $1 million, but at the end of 30 years, not today. Correct?
Those 30 years for me.
For him? Sure, why not? Now, who has only 20 years left to retire?
40.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, so 20 years to retire? Not bad. You only need to put $1,697 a month for the next 20 years.
Which is 2 or 4. Because it's
Hey, I'm going to give you a formula how you move one term policy and secure your retirement. Okay? If you have only 10 years to retire, anybody here? The fear has started going up, 10 years to retire? You have to put $5,466 a month for the next 10 years. And if you are only 5 years away from retirement, you need to put in $13,600 a month. Now Jyoti is suddenly awake. Sorry, मेरी नींद उड़ गई.
And the scenario is when there is no negative years in the market.
Yeah.
8% consistent.
8% consistently, no down markets, and you have money to put it there. Okay? So is that good? Yes. If you have the money, I'm happy for you. If you make more than that, I'm happy for you. अब 1 million के लिए ये number है, तो 2.45 million के लिए कितना लगेगा? 2.5 times of this number. So Navjot, right now you need 286 a month. You will need 750 a month to make $2.45 million. Right? But it is much easier to do that. Why do we discuss this thing? This is a slide again from Occupy, and it's absolutely amazing that if you sit and read this slide, you will figure out what is the importance of protection versus investment. See, in the protection, you need to make sure that the foundation of your financial planning is actually protection of your family. Because if your family is protected for that 2.45 million, you don't have to worry about debt, emergency funds, or even investment. But what a lot of people do, they first go into investments. Then they put, debt behind it. Then they think of emergency fund. Protection to chodi do, right? Why do I need it? And these are the kind of people who fall into trouble. I am so thankful to Occupy and all the leaders out here from whom I've learned so much. And this is in spite of many of us having wealth advisors outside. Nobody ever showed this graph to me or this diagram to me. So this the next thing to understand in the X curve is your later years of life, where your responsibilities go down, your wealth has hopefully gone up, but we all have to plan for our retirement, right? Now, would you all agree that we all are going to retire one day? No matter who we are, where we come from, what we do, what nationality, what work, we will all retire one day. Can anybody avoid retirement? A lot of people say, I'm going to work till the last day, till I drop.
There
Hey,
could
it's
be
your choice.
forced retirement too.
Yes.
There could be forced retirement. Umar to hone wali hai, right? After 50, usually the companies say, let me get a 30-year-old guy instead of a 55-year-old guy, right? It can happen. Number two, now, do you know of any bank in the whole world which gives a loan for retirement? Vinod bhai, tomorrow if you go to a bank, let's say Bank of Duluth, we are in Duluth, yeah, Bank of Duluth, and you tell them, oh, I retired yesterday and I want a loan for the next 20 years, can you give me $2 million?
They're going to ask you for collateral.
Right? So there is no loan anywhere in the whole world the only way people can get a loan is you do reverse mortgage.
Reverse mortgage.
What if you outlive that time? फिर ना तो रहा घर, ना रहे पैसे. तो relative vacation. I go to all relatives' homes to live at a time. Jokes apart, there is no loan for retirement. What does that mean? We have to plan for retirement. And as there is a beautiful slide on the back office which says that people don't plan to fail, they just fail to plan for their retirement. It's in our hand. Why do we need to do this? Because in retirement, there are a few risks that are there. Of course, there is no income, expenses continue, taxes, inflation, healthcare, accidents, sab hota hai. But one of the latest risks and very serious risk is longevity.
Yeah.
People are living longer and longer. Men are living till 89, ladies are living till 91. Which means that you need to plan for your retirement. Now, Navjot, I'm going to pick on you, random example. How much do you really need? Let's say right now, wherever you live, you need $8,000 a month to take care of everything. mortgage, insurance, taxes, car loan, सब कुछ मिला के 8,000 a month, which is $96,000 a year. Now that is post-tax, which means pre-tax you need to make $120,000 a year. Make sense?
Yes.
Because can you avoid taxes? No. Taxes will always. And I'm only counting 20% tax rate, not even higher, which most of us will be above that bracket. And if you're not, then you need to do something about it. We left our country, our parents, our friends to be in a 20% tax bracket? Not really, right? You want to be in a higher tax bracket. But assuming we are there, Navjot, if you are 40 years old today, and if you want to retire at 60 and you're going to live till, I'm counting 85 out here, you need 25 years of funds available. You need 120,000 a year into 25, so which means how much do you need? So you need $3 million for retirement. 40 to 60 is your time of accumulation. You can work, you can make money, you can save money, maybe investment. But then 60 to 85 is going to be your time of distribution. Now just let's assume that your goal is 3 million, you already have 1 million stored somewhere on the side, which leaves you with $2 million of a gap. Now Nikhil, if you need $2 million and you have 20 years left, how much do you need to make or save every year? $100,000, right? Can you save $100,000, Nikhil, with your current paycheck?
No, I can't.
I'm not putting anybody down. Trust me, I was there one time.
Yes.
I was there one time when I was not there. So I learned that I need to do something about it. So when you plan for retirement, Nikhil, what are the usual sources of retirement funds that people have a guarantee?
401k pension.
So either you have a pension plan, there is social security, or your own investments.
IRA and 401k.
Everything is investments.
Social security, yes.
401k, IRA,
Investments,
Roth, trading, mutual
Yes.
funds, sab milake, it's
Investments.
still in investments, stock market. Now, Nikhil, will you get pension when you retire?
Yes.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Navjot, will you get pension when you retire?
From Social Security, yes.
No. Pension from the company. Social security alag hai.
No.
No. Right? But you are going to get pension from the company. It's written and guaranteed
Yes.
for your life. I'm happy.
After 8 years.
I'm happy for you. I'm really, really happy for you. Not many
Not
people
many
get it.
people. Yeah.
Not many people get it. Now, if you don't get pension from your company, what will be your source of income?
Home savings.
So can you create your own personalized pension plan? So we do have options where we can show you how to create your own pension plan, and we'll talk about it. Now, social security, do we have control over it?
No.
No. Do we have guarantee on it? I just pray every day that when I retire, it is there. Itne paise bhare, thode to mile wapas, right? So, you want to focus on that. Number 3, we all depend on our investments, right? Now, let's look at investments. Now, when you invest the money will be in 3 buckets only, correct? Either your money is going to be in a fixed bucket, a variable bucket, or a mixed bucket. Now, Nikhil, when you are retired, would you want to be in the risky variable bucket and have a risk of losing money in the volatile stock market?
No, I don't.
You don't want. So what most people do is they just go to the fixed income or bonds or where there is guaranteed rate of return. But if there is a way where you can actually create growth along with safety and also get tax benefits, Navjot, would that be interesting to you? So when you retire, if there is a way that you can create your personalized pension plan and also divert part of your investment into an area where you guaranteed growth as well as safety, would that be nice? Absolutely. Now you need to sit down with your field builder and understand what are those 2 solutions. Okay? And the younger you are, the longer you have to compound your money. So it's very, very important. The next thing is estate planning. I'm going to skip this today in the interest of time. So what do we do with all the knowledge that we have gotten today? So we always need an action plan. You know, सीख तो बहुत लिया, करेंगे क्या उसका? So we all know that our motto in this business is join, own, share. Correct? You joined the business, you got registration, you got license, you went through the training, now you know the solutions.
By the way, Navjot got licensed this week.
This week? Congratulations, Navjot. Well, thank you, Navjot. That's awesome. Now you are taking care of your family's destiny. So the first thing you need to do, Navjot, is sit down with your field builder and understand, how do I own the business? That doesn't mean you have to go and pay somebody. Owning means understanding what you got in your hands. See, for a mother, she knows exactly where the kids' clothes are. For a wife, she knows exactly where the masalas are in the kitchen. You know, for a surgeon, I know exactly where my tools are in my operating room. We take ownership of it, and that's what it means to take ownership of your business. The best thing you can do, Navjot or Nikhil or anybody who's new online, is do your own financial needs analysis or the X curve and see what are the gaps you have before you can go and share it with anybody else. Is your family protected? Is your child's future secure? Is your sickness and disability covered? You know, is your retirement in place? Are you getting tax-free assets for your retirement? Or do you have a guaranteed lifetime income? You want to look at those things for yourself first. And once you understand that, you see the value. When Girish and Shraddha started, trust me, the first 5 meetings, my question to Prashant was, how is this going to help me? How should I do this thing? We got 4 IULs, 2 terms, 1 annuity in 1 stroke. Lot of ABV. Lot of ABV, trust me. But did that secure my family?
Yes.
That is in spite of having a wealth advisor outside. I still have a wealth advisor outside, and he tells me, Girish, I'm very glad you did this. Most important client in this business is me. Everybody on the online, if you have not done your own FNA, go back, sit with your field builder, do your X-curve, do your FNA. You know, Akibhai showed such an amazing way of doing your FNA. First secure your own family, only then you can secure somebody else's. जो मैंने खुद नहीं किया वो मैं दूसरे को कैसे कॉन्फिडेंस से बता सकता हूँ? They will look in my eye, they will feel the tone, they will look at my body language and say, इसने खुद नहीं किया. But today, if somebody questions me, I can open up all those 7 and many more solutions that I have, obtained from here, and I tell them, this is my son's IUL, this is my daughter's IUL, this is my IUL. Rahim bhai, last year, 17% return on my IUL.
Wow.
My wealth advisor was shocked. He's like, really? This is tax-free money? Rahim bhai, kya bola mujhse pata hai? Do you qualify to get some more? Why not, right? So the solutions are there, but until I don't. Now, why am I so confident today? Because I have my results to show to people. When I started, I didn't have the results. Then I used to say, Prashant, do you have something I can show to people? Akibhai, do you have something I can show to people? And the other leaders come and show their results. I used to borrow their results to show to others, but today I can show my own results. Navjot, when you will have your own things, you will very confidently show it to others. Now, why are we all in this business? Is to make money, to make cash flow, right? Now, cash flow, we have all heard this magic formula, right? What is the magic formula? $250 worth of premium per month collected every week, right? Let me repeat, $250 worth of premium per month collected every week. Now, if you do that $250 per week, you're going to collect $1,000 a month, assuming every month has 4 weeks. That month with 5th week, bonus, extra $250. Now, we are paid on the annual commissionable base, right? So if you collect $1,000 a month, which means you have moved $12,000 worth of premium for the year. Now, I want all of you to trust me on these numbers. I've used good calculators to come with these numbers. If you are at 45% Nikhil, at $12,000, you are going to make $5,400 a month. Right?
Yes.
Nikhil, if you made extra $5,400 a month, will it change your life in any way?
It is absolutely.
It's absolutely, right? What would you do with $5,400?
Pay up my mortgage, my cars, bills, everything.
Exactly. There are a lot of team members in our family, in our team, who now have this income to pay off their mortgage. They don't even touch the thing. Rahim bhai, aap to bahut aage ho. But can you imagine just the peace of mind to know my house is secure now? The bank can never come and touch this thing. And your mortgage is being paid for. And whatever you make is in your pocket. You can go and spend that. Now, if you make 5,400 a month, how much is that per year?
64,800.
Yeah, fast calculation, eh, right?
Thanks to you.
Best.
You're welcome. So that is $64,800. $64,800 a year. Now let's look at a slightly more advanced thing here. Nikhil, how many hours do you work in a year?
I'm working 52 weeks per year.
So let's assume 50 weeks, 40 hours a week, that's 2,000 hours in a year.
Yes.
So if you divide 64,800 by 2,000, how much is that?
32.
What, do you know what this means, Nikhil? You just gave yourself a salary raise of $32 an hour. Will you ever get $32 an hour raise at your work?
No.
Navjot, will your company ever give you $32 of raise per hour at your work?
They prefer to die first.
Socho, $250 premium collection per week. If you do it consistently, you give yourself a raise of $32 an hour. Now let's look at another calculation. Navjot, I'm going to pick on you. Let's say, Navjot, your paycheck is $150,000. I'm sure you're making more. This is just an example. What's the average raise you get at work?
5 to 7% annually, and that's also not nice.
Not
Yes,
nice.
sometimes you don't get something.
So let's say 5%. What is 5% of $150,000? 7,500. Now divide that by 2,000 hours. What's your raise? Calculate it. Online, you all can also do this calculation. $7,500 raise divided by 2,000 hours.
3.75.
3.75. If you are at 30% tax bracket, reduce 30% from that.
There is no 30%.
Huh?
There is no 30% of that.
So that will come down to about 2.25.
Yes.
Inflation, 5 to 7%. That means it came down to $2 an hour.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, I'm making you feel so good about your
You're
raise, okay?
keeping small numbers small and big numbers big.
ये सब अक्की भाई ने सिखाया भाई. Don't kill the messenger, okay? ये भी dialogue अक्की भाई का ही है.
Yes.
But imagine after working so hard, you make an extra $2 an hour, and if you do $250 premium, you make $32 an hour. What is easier?
This is it. No way.
No brainer, right? I won't even go to 60% or 78%. Because $32 an hour raise in itself is a huge thing. But I'll tell you anyway. If you're an MD and if you're at 60%, you give yourself a raise of $43 an hour. And if you're an RMD, you give yourself a raise of $56 an hour. And this is only on personal work. We are not even talking about your team, your overrides, your splits, your infinity, your generational income. ये कुछ बात नहीं किया. Do we see the potential? Do we see the scalability of this business? A lot of people say, I can move my company, I can go to the other side, I'll get a 20% raise. Will it be $36 an hour? No way. I challenge anybody and everybody to come and tell me that they moved a company and they got a $50 an hour raise. And it is permanent forever. And you don't have to worry about it, right? So is it worth doing this business? Is it worth going and drawing the X curve to somebody? Is it worth going and securing somebody's family's life? Is it worth going and getting tax-free income in retirement? Is it worth securing somebody's retirement saying, ma'am, you don't have to worry, anything happens to your spouse, you got a guaranteed lifetime income forever? It is way more worth than this. A lot of people ask me, why do I do this business? Number one, when I'm a physician, I treat one human body at a time. When I do an X-curve, I treat an entire family for 2 generations. Because if I help them today, their kids are secure, their wife is secure, their families are secure. Now, don't you want to do that? Then will we hesitate in showing the X-curve to people? Never. You get a moment, like Vinod Bhai said, what is our business? Open your mouth. That is our business, right? Now let's skip this thing. Let's understand how you make that $250 premium collection per week. What are the 3 things that we actually promote in our industry? Term, life, and annuity. Estate planning, yes, but no. Right? You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So these 3 are our main things. Now let's see how you can collect $250 of premium from each of these solutions. The first thing to understand is in the insurance products, we get 1:1 ratio. $1 is equal to 1 BV. Correct? Everybody agrees on that? And in the rollover or the annuities or retirement, it's $14 to 1 BV. Right? Everybody agreed on that thing? So if I want to collect $250 per month, my target is $3,000 target premium for a term or an IUL. Now that can be one client, a couple, family, multiple clients, single. It can be any combination. The company doesn't say कि आपको एक ही stroke मिलाना है. You can have 5 clients doing 3,000. You can have 1 client doing 3,000. Is it easy? Anybody who's a 40-year-old, male or female, healthy, going for $1 million coverage for 35 years will be $3,000. Approximately. थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे 4 आना 12 आना, depending on their BMI. But is it easy to promote this? Husband दिया, wife को दिया, 3,000 हो गया. Is it worth helping one family to secure their families forever? Absolutely. If they do an IUL, fantastic. But let's just do a juvenile IUL. You have a baby? I will tell you one of the best things you can do is to create an IUL for your child. Give them a financial head start right from their first month of life. इतनी दुआएं देंगे, and I mean it. वो आपको दुआएं देंगे कि thank God. Today I wish my father had an option or even the availability of an IUL when I was a kid. Maybe he didn't know. He did well in other ways. That's why we are here today. But an additional IUL for your kid, literally, वो आपको दुआ देंगे. Can you get a $250 target premium collection for a child? A $500,000 policy will easily get you that. And what have you done? You have secured that child's future for life. Is there any other solution, Nikhil, where you can say with confidence, my wife's or my child's future is secured? When we saw this, my kids were teenagers. Even then, their future is secured till age 120. Rahim bhai, I wish I had seen this 15 years ahead. आपको तो 4 आने में ये सब मिलने वाला है, because your kid is only 1 month old. 1 month?
One, not even 1
Not even 1 month.
2 days to 1 month.
Or 2 days to 1.
चाराना ही होगा.
4 नहीं होने वाला. And you can afford that, and it will compound over next 20 years. And that Harvard dream, piece of cake. उसको बोला कितना चाहिए? $818,000. Write a check, send it out. Rollover. If it's going to be $14 to 1 BV, and if you need $3,000 annual target premium, you need to move only $42,000 of a pre-existing 401k or IRA. Because
We are at 2 million today.
Yes.
Yeah, and people are moving $2 million. I'm showing the bare minimum. So if you move $42,000, you got $3,000 annual premium, you collected $250 per month. Is it difficult? Now think about retirement. You have a 401k account?
Yes, I do.
You have a 401k account? What's the max you can contribute?
26. Sorry, you asked.
No, what's the IRS limit?
I'm not sure.
Do you max out?
6%, yes.
Do you max out your contribution limit? Okay.
I think it's 23 or 24,000 for
Chalo, let's assume 23,000. How many years of retirement fund is 42,000? 2 years.
Years.
Less than 2 years?
Yeah.
Do you think the people we meet have 2 years of retirement funds?
Yeah.
तो इसमें ऐसा भी नहीं है कि 1 million निकालना है. Now those guys really did well. Their clients were in a different phase of life. But do we know people between jobs, between solutions, who carry at least $42,000 in their retirement fund? And what if they don't? What should you offer them? Offer them the opportunity. If they don't have retirement fund, they should
Yeah.
see the opportunity, right? Now, is it easy to do this thing? Now, every month, can we move one term policy? Can we move one juvenile IUL? Can we move one $42,000 rollover? Kitna difficult hai? What will that do?
Give you this.
$32 an hour of raise. Make sense? Now, learning all this is very nice, okay? But how do we apply this? You know what is the answer to every problem? Action. Action cures everything. If you want to achieve any of these things, all you need to do is act on it. You know, some people said, oh, we make 2 calls a day. Some people said, you know, we went to this event. Now, where do we learn all these things? You know, can I just take admission in medical school, never go to the school and become a doctor? I can. India में fake degree मिल सकती है, right? But do we want to be the fake one or do you want to be the real one?
Real.
And where can you go and learn these things? You can only when you go to the environment, when you go to the school or the college. And who can teach you what to do? Only those who have known how to do it. It's the same in our business. You know, we heard so many people saying, you know what, hey, I went to the Dallas event, somebody said I went to the Tennessee event, I went to the Atlanta event. Now these are fantastic, but how would you like to go to the master event? And that is the upcoming Convention of Champions, right? Makes sense? Now Convention of Champions is coming up in July. It's going to be in Las Vegas. Please take your spouse, so no happy husband, suspicious wife, right? But it's also important that they see the future, they get a vision, they understand what you're doing. Now, you know, if you have small babies, we understand. But everybody else, we should be able to go there. What's going to happen? You know, you are here today in life. You know where you were 5 years ago? You don't remember where you were 5 years ago, financially?
We all very much remember.
We all remember,
Very
right?
much.
Have you moved significantly from 5 years ago?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now we want to move somewhere better in 5 years from now. So we need the right vehicle, we need the right environment, we need the right guidance. We can only get that by going to that place. Did the medical professor come to my home to teach me, or I went to the college to learn? Did I, you know, create my college on Zoom, or did I went to a physical place? Physical place. Do you think all the industries that help medical field came to my home to teach me? No, I went out to conferences. So the same thing I need to do here is I need to go to the Convention of Champions. I'm so glad, Vinodji, you were persistently asking everybody, have you booked your ticket? Have you booked your ticket? Have you booked your ticket? I'm going to ask the same question to everybody online. Have you booked your ticket? Because whose life will change when you go to COC?
We have booked our ticket.
That's right. I know all of you have done it.
The Jyoth is yet to done. He will.
Oh, he's going to do it now. He heard it so many times that he's going to do it. Do you think Prashant's life changes because I go to COC? कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है उनके life. He's still living a lavish lifestyle. Now, I want to learn how he's doing it. But where can I learn it? Only when I go there. Now, what are some of the things that people will always tell you when you promote the COC? Number one, hey, I don't have time. Right?
Yes.
Everybody said, oh, it's midweek, I don't have time, I cannot take 3 days leave, you know. If after 25 years of working, you cannot control 3 days of your life, don't you think you need to learn how to get those 3 days of life? So true,
So true.
right? Many people will say, I don't have the money, it's going to cost me whatever, you know, $300, $400, $500. Same thing. After 25 years, You cannot spend $500 on yourself. What have you been doing all your life? Do you want to learn how to make that extra $500 a month? You need to come to COC. Then a lot of people will say, I don't know if this works. Fantastic. Do you want to see if it works and how it works? Come to Vegas, right? Oh, I have seen many of these things before. Have you seen this one? You have not. Hey, I trust and I respect what you say. Why don't you give yourself a chance to see something that's different? When you came to the United States, did you have a guarantee गाड़ी अच्छी होगी, रास्ते अच्छे होंगे, कोई drunken driver नहीं होगा, lay off नहीं होगा, खाने के भाव बढ़ जाएंगे, घर के mortgage rates बढ़ जाएंगे? Did we have those guarantees? No, but we still came here. Why? Because we all had a vision for our future. What is your vision for your future 1 year, 3 years, 5 years from now? Do you want to be where you are? If you are happy, hey, we are happy for you. I'm not here to change your life in any way. But if I want to change my life, I need to act on it. Because trust me, as much as Prashant loves me, he says, Girish bhai, sikhaya, ab apna kaam kar. Do you think my professor ever comes to me every Saturday morning and says, Girish, how's your practice going? Let me talk to you about it. 32 years since graduation. I'm not giving my age, but you can tell. 32 years since then, no professor has come to me and asked me, Nikhil, how are you doing? Has your professor ever come and asked you, let me help you become better? This is the only system where you're going to get the environment, the providers, the professors, and all the people around you who are going to say, Vinod ji, if I can do it, you can do it, and I'll help you do it so. Yes.
As you mentioned, Dr. Gore, that I've attended many other, events in the past. What's new in this? So the new is that every time we go, we see new 50K earners, 100K earners. Those were when we started our journey.
Correct.
So you'll always have somebody new walking on the stage.
Correct.
Yes, you see the leaders because that's how we learn.
Exactly.
Being into the system. But these new people teaches us a lot that they started the journey with me. Where am I now and where
Exactly.
are they? So
Exactly.
that's new every event. When you
Absolutely. And you want to show them success stories. Most of you will be on, the WhatsApp groups where you get the success stories. And you say like, look at this couple. Yesterday, one new couple went full-time. I mean, wife is a CTO, this guy is a vice president, and they go full-time. Do you think they were making enough money? Hey, between the two of them, they were making decent money. But they went full-time in this business. You find, this guy from Harrisburg who had to leave for some urgent work. The man has been doing this full-time for 7 years. Do you think there is enough money to live 7 years without a job? It works, right? But if you want to build a faith, the last thing, most important thing is, we all believe in what we see. Why did I become a physician? Because I saw a lot of physicians becoming successful. Why do most people do IT? Because you see other people in IT living a good life. Why do many people have businesses? Because you say, oh, if he can run this business, I can run it. In our industry, most people have not seen the future. It is for us to give them the vision for the future, and that's why the first time you have to encourage them to come to the COC. I know all of you have booked your tickets, but now it's time. We got 43 days from today to encourage each and every person to come. One more person coming there is going to change their life and our lives. Is it our responsibility? Heck yes. It is our responsibility, because somebody's life changing is a big blessing. I always repeat again, when I treat a patient, I treat one human body. When I show an X-curve, I treat 2 generations. And that is very, very, very impactful. Not only the client, their kids will bless you, bhai, thank you, you came and showed this to my parents. But the people who won't see it, their kids will wonder, क्या हो गया? वो लोग आए थे, रहीम भाई आए थे घर पे, आपने क्यों नहीं किया? Don't do that, okay? So guys, with that, I'm done. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to. But Rahim bhai, I would love you to please come up and give your closing remarks on this. Let's give a big round of applause for him.
Guys, I must say, did I not promise that you guys are blessed and gift just to have Dr. Puri in the building? So thanks so much for your time and believing in us and the people. I love what you said. When you do a treatment, you treat one patient. When you show an X-curve, 2 generations are blessed. Now that's the heart of a giver, that's the heart of a doctor, because he comes from there, he sees the value, and I know you do, you train other doctors too, so in that profession, you treating the family not only through you, but other doctors treating that one family at a time. And our mission is what? No family left behind. So in your daytime, you do the same thing. You know, you're like a Superman after 5 o'clock, the cape comes out, right? So, you know, why not? There you go. You know? But guys, was this powerful what he learned? What we learned?
Yes,
And then did they not keep it simple,
very simple.
right? Can we just understand that and go up